belong to either section, but we claim both of them. So we're rather unique. I don't know of any other county in the state of Kentucky that make that claim. Plus the fact that we have the Kentucky River running right through the middle of the county, which is one of the greatest assets, and then we call it a sleeping giant.
Estill County is probably one of the last true areas of America that is truly America, where truth is truth and people are people, and not so socialized by the TV that their whole life is dominated by society. Here in Estill County, people are real, they are personalities, they are independent, they are free people, and that's the most dynamic thing about Estill County.
Hi, I'm Amy Brandley. Welcome to Kentucky Life in Estill County. You've just heard two Estill Countyans describe the place they call home. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy as other Estill Countyans bring their home to you. We'll begin our profile with a look into Estill County's fine education system.
Thank you, Estill County, for making 15 years of service a success for Citizens Guaranty Bank. You've given citizens the responsibility of working with you and the opportunity to share in your growth. In exchange for your trust, Citizens offers full-service banking with integrity and understanding. And they provide important exclusive features like equity management accounts and student loans to help your growth continue. Citizens Guaranty Bank, marking their 15th year, providing you with the very best in financial services.
BG Sherrod Jewelers is the gift store that gives you more in gift ideas and more in friendly service. Sherrod's has a wide variety of fine jewelry, from diamonds and gold to less expensive keepsakes. As the area's only full-line gift shop, they also feature china, crystal, Hallmark cards, and a host of things you won't find elsewhere. Sherrod's service includes in-store watch and jewelry repair, and gift wrapping is always free. Shop the gift store that gives you more. BG Sherrod Jewelers, Irvin, open 9 till 5:30, Monday through Saturday.
Excellence in a quality driving machine is measured by performance testing. Excellence in a car dealership can also be measured by performance testing. After extensive customer surveys, General Motors has found Bunt Gross Chevrolet Olds to have the highest customer satisfaction ratings of any major Oldsmobile or Chevrolet dealer in central Kentucky.
Community spirit and pride are already a big part of the students of Estill County High School.
I like the teachers, and the kids are great. Everybody's friendly to each other, and the teachers are real friendly, and they make school fun.
We have approximately 930 students in the high school, and it was consolidated in 1970. So I think, of course, I wasn't the principal at that time, but it was consolidation of Estill County High School and Irvin High School.
We're rather proud. I think I would be remiss if I didn't list first that we have a very respectful and well-behaved student body district-wide. We're very proud of them. Certainly, we're proud of the fact that we are above the state average in percentage of attendance with our students, and again, that speaks highly of the students as well as the staff. Again, we could not fail to mention what we previously referred to, and that's that we have a well-trained and experienced staff in the district. Also, we're rather proud of the fact that we consistently rank higher on academic standing than we do on local revenue available. And we're rather proud of the fact that we have a very active community and business participation and partnership in the community.
We have very competent staff, and our curriculum is adequate, and being as small as we are, we don't offer some of the things that would be offered in other larger school districts, but they can leave here and go anywhere and do anything that they want if they choose to do so.
I believe I'll be well prepared for college or whatever field I choose to go into. I believe all the classes and the teachers I've had have, helped me really, prepare for what's ahead of me in the future.
The Estill County Board of Education took a major step when they established an area vocational program. This carpentry class is one of 3 where students can learn a useful trade that they can call upon throughout their lives.
Our students cannot participate in area vocational schools as readily because of these added requirements, and the time on the road traveling to and from the vocational schools presents a problem. And so we decided to see if we couldn't offer some sort of a vocational program without an actual facility. And so we went into the community and found some facilities that might be available, and designed the vocational program around them. And we now offer auto mechanics, carpentry, and health services. The health services being taught at the Estill County Hospital, Markham Wallace Memorial Hospital, I should say. And they use the staff and the facilities there as their classroom and resource people. The auto mechanics is being taught in a former car dealership facility, and we have access to all of the equipment that they use there. And then the carpentry class is being taught in a renovated building here. And we really feel like it's a unique program, one that we've had to design ourselves to fit our own needs because the finances weren't there to build a facility itself.
Students can test their green thumbs in the Estill County High School greenhouse, where they're graded on everything from soil to sunlight.
The particular class that we're in right now is Horticulture 2. It's a second, most of these students have already had a first-year horticulture class, and some of the areas that we go into are, of course, we talk about greenhouse management, we talk about soils, and plant propagation, and we do some things like a little bit of welding and electricity. We talk about conservation because the kids in 5th and 6th hour class are also members of the Junior Conservation Board as well, which last year we went over and planted some trees on an area where erosion was likely to take place, and year before last we sowed some grass seed and fertilized in an area where erosion was likely to take place. So this class is involved in more than just inside the greenhouse.
We talked the high school band into demonstrating some of their award-winning talents.
We have a marching band and also a jazz band or a stage band. The marching band finished 20th in the state this year in marching band competition. So we feel that that's one of our better programs, our music program. We've examined a major part of Estill County's high school system. Now let's take a look at a middle school program where 7th and 8th graders find out just what industrial arts is all about.
I've been here 5 years now, and it's a required course for both 7th and 8th graders, the industrial arts course. There's a move throughout Kentucky that would be called technical education over the next year. We have been involved with the Eastern Kentucky University Craftsman's Fair, and the past 4 years we have entered projects over there, and we've won the overall for the last 3 years. The 7th graders work on transportation units. We learned some things about power and transportation, and then the 8th graders, they set up their own manufacturing companies where they invest in stock, and they go through interviews for different jobs and everything like that. Last year, the students went up to Mr. Garrett, our principal, and sold him on the idea they would give award certificates to the sports people in the 8th grade, and they wanted something a little bit nicer, and they went up and sold him on the idea of making the plaques. So the class makes the plaques and then sells them to school. So they were going with trophies before that, so that kind of helped the school out and also helps our program out both.
Community support doesn't stop at the high school or middle school levels. Academics are stressed at an early age, and elementary students have the opportunity to show off their abilities at a weekly academic tournament that draws a large group of parents and teachers to cheer on their teams.
Okay, it's been going on for 3 years, and we started with elementary, middle school, and high school, and we have quite a bit of support from the elementary. The high school, they have a lot more activities that kind of limits the number of people there, and middle school has quite a few people that supports the team as well as away games. I think it's excellent because it gets them prepared when they get into junior high and high school, then they're ready for competition and they're used to the activity, and they've went over a lot of questions that they've learned, and maybe they can apply to the high school and middle school. It's exciting, but it's nerve-wracking sometimes. You get a little nervous about like the kids do, but it's something different, and it's unusual, and the kids enjoy it. And I think it helps them in their studies, and I think it makes them study more because they like that competition.
We'll look at industry when Kentucky Life in Estill County returns.
Have you examined your life insurance policy recently? Life insurance is a better buy today than ever before. The folks at Big E Insurance in Irvin can advise you on what's the best policy for you. From universal life with savings feature to the pure protection of a term policy. Through their new computer system, Big E Insurance can generate proposals and projections for your life insurance plan. See Richard Snowden or Butch Birchfield today at Big E Insurance, River Drive in Irvin.
Appliances, TVs and stereos, all brand names, all at low prices, all at Jimmy Webb's TV and Appliances in Irvin and Richmond. Jimmy Webb has Key America billion-dollar buying power, and that means the best selection and the best prices. If that's not enough, they also have one of the largest service departments in the area. Stop in at Jimmy Webb's TV and Appliances in Richmond and Irvin.
This week on In the Know. What remains the longest man-made structure on Earth?
Greenup County Cooper. Great Wall of China.
Give the last name of the scientist who first discovered penicillin.
Somerset Burgon. Fleming.
What playwright wrote The Glass Menagerie?
Greenup County Adkins. Tennessee Williams.
If you were a member of the UAW, in what industry would you work?
Somerset Pageant.
The auto industry. Sunday morning at 10.
There are many communities that make up Estill County. Irvin is the county seat, and Ravenna, a railroad community, is Irvin's close neighbor. Mayor Claude Isaacs tells us what he enjoys about living in Estill County.
You have neighbors that really are interested in you, which maybe you do in the bigger cities, but seem not so much as you do in the smaller towns, you know. Everybody kind of likes to get together and work together, you know.
Like all progressive counties looking to attract new industry, Estill has set up a development corporation to guide prospective industry and develop continuity throughout the county.
We have various local governments, civic groups and organizations, the city of Irvin, the city of Ravenna, the county, local business organizations, and we felt like that an organization that could listen to the needs and concerns of each of these individual entities would provide continuity so that the entire community would be working as a whole toward common goals.
Estill County's largest industrial employer is Carhartt. This plant was built in 1932 and is a leader in the manufacture of outerwear and of workwear for men, women, and children.
We're very fortunate to have a ready and able workforce here because I hope it's because we provide good working conditions and good pay, but I think it might be because they would just like to stay in the county and work here. We employ approximately 350 people here, including the warehouse in Ravenna, and 95% of them come from Estill County. We have a few from the adjoining counties. We warehouse the fabric in our plant in Ravenna, our warehouse in Ravenna, but the fabric is brought in here. We have to spread it on our cutting tables, which you see in the background here. We cut it up and put our tickets on it to identify each bundle, and the pay coupons are also attached for each individual employee. It goes to the sewing room. We have parts departments through sub-assembly and final assembly departments, and it ends up the finished product after going through up to 35 or 40 operations in the plant. We're generally a low-key company. We try not to make a big deal out of what we do for the community, but we're always willing to help the school system or any of the organizations in the county, and if any of our employees or there are needy families in the county, we do try to help them out.
Ravenna has long been known as a railroad town. CSX Transportation still operates a major railroad center in Ravenna. Its primary job is to move coal throughout eastern Kentucky.
Well, the railroad in Ravenna has been here since before 1900. It's very important in terms of it's the major marshaling yard for all of our coal moving from East Kentucky to the north and to the south. It's split up here. It's placed into solid trains here and moved to destination. So from that standpoint, to us, it's very important. It's a yard that we must have in our operation. Well, right in Ravenna, we employ approximately 200. They're engineers, trainmen, trackmen, supervisors, clerks, yard masters. They make up practically all of the employees that we have anywhere on the railroad. We have some of them in Ravenna. They're all very dedicated people. Most of them have been with the railroad for a considerable amount of time. They're very efficient and perform well and provide quality service to our customers.
Southeast Coal Company is another large employer in Estill County and very active in the community.
We came here in 1959, and we came here because this was the headquarters of the railroad, and we wanted to be at a place where the coal could be processed without moving it out of the line of traffic. And we've been here 25 years, and we started here processing coal for the steel industry. And as the steel industry moved offshore, we converted over to the so-called compliance coal for electric utilities, coal that complies with the new source performance standards of the Clean Air Act. And that's what we do exclusively today. We handle nothing but compliance coal here. And we bring it in here by rail. We take it out of here by rail. That's why we're here, because the rail is here. We process about 2 million tons of coal a year here. That would be enough to light the homes of about almost 1 million people.
What started as a creative outlet has become a prospering business for Oak Art, which manufactures sturdy and comfortable indoor and outdoor furniture.
We, for a couple years, pretty much were just getting our feet wet and figuring out what we were doing and finding our suppliers. And in the last 2 years, we've been doing more wholesale work and been increasing our sales and increasing the volume of production. And that's pretty much where we're at now. We have 2 people that are working here full-time now. But basically, it's a family-oriented business. My wife runs the office, and these kind folks here let me think that I run the shop. So, and we do all our own sales and that type of thing. We're trying to do more. Last year, we sold about 2,000 pieces of furniture. This year, we hope to sell about 5,000 and just continue to go from there. We're trying not to go too fast, but we're trying to go fast enough where we can make a little money and pay the bills.
We'll visit a store in Estill County with a lot of hometown flavor when Kentucky Life returns.
I'm riding down the highway, got my hands up on the wheel of a brand new Ford Gross automobile, and I'm rolling down the highway. Nobody treats you right on a deal like Ford Gross Chevrolet Oldsmobile, and I'm rolling down the highway.
A checking account that also earns you interest. It's Estill Federal's easy-to-open Now account. When you write 20 checks or less per month and maintain a $300 balance, there are no service charges. And in the meantime, you're earning interest, 5% deposited monthly. Estill Federal offers a wide range of investment and loan programs. The Now account is just one of the ways they take care of you by helping you take care of your money. Estill Federal Savings and Loan, downtown Irvin.
Today's modern medical facility includes a diagnostic laboratory, technology and specialists for such advanced tests and treatments as mammography, electroencephalography, and physical therapy for both inpatients and outpatients. All this and more is available to you in the skilled hands of understanding medical professionals. Markham and Wallace Memorial Hospital in Irvin has been serving your health needs since 1959. They're serving the health needs of your entire family better than ever today.
Lifestyle in Estill County is as close as the country store.
We're primarily a feed and farm supply store. We have a mill where we custom grind mixed feed. We sell seeds for pastures and gardens and lawns. Service is a big part of our business. Customers come in and pretty much state their situation. We make suggestions and sell that type of thing. We also have hardware, musical instruments. It's pretty much jack of all things, you know. They can pretty much come in here and get what they need.
But Estill Farm Service has another interesting feature that draws customers from all over.
These are just a bunch of yahoos that come in every once in a while and pick around. But these musicians here, they come from all over, pretty much all over the county, and they have a real rich history pretty much in tradition around here. This is Wayne Mays. Wayne comes from an awful large family of musicians. A lot of people around here know his father, Junebug Mays, but Wayne can play about any type of instrument there is. He plays the guitar right now, but awful good singer and everything. This right here is Mr. Harlan Angel. Harlan is one of the best Travis-style guitar pickers around you'll ever hear. He won the contest down here last year, didn't you, Harlan? And the picking musician, he's awfully good, a good gospel singer and the like. This feller down here, Mr. Travis Wales. Travis is well known by everybody in the community. He's been around for probably 20 or 30 years, hasn't he, Travis? But he's run a sawmill, and he'd been interviewing himself. That man, he knows a lot of the history and the characters and the stories of this community, and is a real fine old-time banjo player, collects instruments and the like. This guy here is Mr. John Holland. John is one of the younger fellows around playing music. He plays old-time banjo, mandolin, guitar, fiddle, and he plays in a gospel music group and comes down and plays with us every once in a while, and just a good musician and a good fella. Jim Hayden over here is a local entrepreneur over in Irvin. He runs Hayden's new item store over there. He sells shoes and clothing and that apparel mostly, and has some hardware over there also. But Jim has been in business here for a long time, and he comes over and plays with us. He's a real good fiddler, particularly in the swing style and waltzes and everything. And so they just all get together over here and pick and have a big time, you know.
True to the Appalachian region, Estill County is rich in arts and crafts. Rocky Burkhart is Estill County's artist-in-residence, who shares his love for the region through his beautiful depictions of Appalachian life.
Well, this is called the Spirit of Appalachia Museum, and what we try to do is to show the people, culture, and art of Estill County. And this is a place that people can come and enjoy the arts and crafts and art of Estill County. There's so much talent here, and the children in Estill County are starved for it. The opportunity to draw and to paint and take photos of the surroundings. The children are so happy to live in Estill County because they know that they're surrounded by beautiful mountains and that they can breathe the fresh air and there's good clean water that they can drink here. And they know that if they lived in New York or LA or some other place, they wouldn't have this. So they, along with me, tried to document and record the way things are now in Estill County.
I'm standing in McClanahan's art studio, where artists from all around come to share ideas and learn new techniques in everything from woodworking to jewelry making.
We've been here about 10 or 11 years, and my wife and I we both painted. And so we just started kind of fixing up so when we retired, we'd have some place to paint. And so we just started fixing on our studio about 10 years ago, and we just kind of used it part-time, and then we got into it full-time. And so now we paint full-time. We have about 3 classes a week here. And we have about 40 students or so, I'd say, that come and go. And they're from counties around here, as well as Estill County. We have quite a range of students. I mean, the age range from, I'd say, 18 or 20 to over 80. And it's amazing how they get along and how they flow together and how they do things together. It's just amazing how they work together.
The Estill County Arts Project was established 5 years ago to support the tremendous interest and talents of the artists and craftsmen of Estill County.
They're ready to do anything, you know. Of course, we try to have some type of small payment for their time so that we don't just ask them to volunteer everything. But they're more than willing to do anything that we ask them to. They're willing to go into the schools and show the kids. They're willing to work with adult groups. They're willing to volunteer, you know, things that they have that we can use. And when it comes time for our fundraising and things, you know, they're right there to support us, even if they have to buy tickets.
A creative spirit and yearning for a more meaningful way of life led Mary and Robin Reed to Estill County, which welcomed them with open arms.
In '72, and we decided that we wanted to leave the city and try the country life for a while and get away from the mad rush. So we moved out to the country. We were in Powell County first to start and couldn't find employment. So we turned our talents into producing a craft, and candles were the first. My major and interest is art, and Robin's minor was art, and we both attended University of Kentucky. And so candles was the first thing, and we had been doing candles as a hobby, and we just started developing it and started going to craft shops, and they encouraged us a whole lot. They liked our work. So we started then doing shows, and it just grew from there. And then we ended up, a couple of years later, we found our paradise, our farm here, and bought it over in Estill County. And in this area, there were people that were working in corn shucks, and so I just kind of picked up that and started playing with it, and that developed into a full line then. And then also the baskets came out of that a little bit later. And we used to gather around swimming holes at the creek and river banks and just spend the afternoon making baskets together. And at first I'd make a potato basket or a garden basket or a basket to put my magazines in. And I had a lot of encouragement from people at the same time too. So that developed into a full line of market on that too.
Tim Hall is another person from Estill County. He's a wildlife woodcarver whose love for nature combined with art skills have developed into world-famous bird carvings. They look so real, you'd think they could actually fly away.
I've started carving ducks kind of a hobby back in about 1979. And after about the 8th carving I did, I sold it and found that there was a market for hand-done things. And since that time, I guess about 81, this is all I've been doing for a job, and I've enjoyed it very much. I always try to give the Lord credit. I put that on everything I do for being able to make a living. It's something I enjoy doing. I'm real thankful for the opportunity.
Estill artists continue to preserve the county's rich history. Early craftsmen fashioned magnificent iron ore furnaces, which still stand around the county today.
There's 3 in Estill County now. The one is steam furnace out at the furnace store, and then the second one was cottage furnace that was built after it, and the third one then was Fitchburg, and the last one. We know they were carved from sandstone, rock, handmade, all of it was put up, and we know they hired a lot of slaves to bring in to help to do the work until they came to Fitchburg. Now, Fitchburg was done by an Italian, and you can tell that the stones are much better.
What could be more appropriate for a museum in the railroad town of Ravenna than a train? That's exactly what the Historical Society thought when they chose this appropriate structure to house their valuable memories.
In 1983, the Estill County Historical and Genealogical Society, Mr. Norwood Thorpe is president now. Him and Mr. R.S. Pruitt, a former, well, he's probably a member yet of the society, but they got in contact with Mr. Edwards, the superintendent, and said we'd like to have a caboose and possibly a coach. So Mr. Edwards contacted Mr. Oaks, J.C. Oaks, superintendent at Corbin, and he told Mr. Pruitt to go to Corbin and pick out any coach down there they had. So he went to Corbin and he picked out this car we have here now. And it's an old ACL, Atlantic Coastline, former combination mail and passenger. I think it's real nice. I just love it. When I get here, I just kind of feel like I'm on a train, and most of the kids do too. We've had some over 1,000 people go through here in this past few months, and we're not open all the time either. But I love it, and most other people around here do too.
We'll turn our focus to community services when Kentucky Life in Estill County returns.
Red Williams Realty and Auction, our professionally trained staff is here for you. We offer residential, commercial, and industrial real estate service. We offer free appraisals if we sell your property and assist in the settling of estates. Stop by Red's for money-saving consultation on estate settlement. Licensed auctioneers Red Williams and Donnie Barnes don't talk fast, but they sell fast. With over 27 years experience, no wonder they're Estill County's #1 auction service. Stop by for consultation or just stop by for coffee. Red Williams Realty and Auction.
Enough said, call Red.
There's one place in Irvin for antiques, old and new. Reese's Antiques offers 2 floors of furniture and accessories from years past, many fine oak pieces, depression glass, and a large selection of old china bowls. Even those with contemporary taste enjoy a log home's distinction. Delvin Reese will build your Jim Barna log home or provide the technical help you need to do it yourself and save. Buck Stove Heat applies today's engineering to old-fashioned values. Reese's for antiques of all ages. Irvin, Richmond Road.
Your new Ace Hardware dealer for Irvin is Hardy Brothers, the place with the helpful hardware man, with savings on a wide variety of merchandise from lawn and garden tools to plumbing and electrical supplies to paint, plus name-brand appliances like Maytag, Magic Chef, and Zenith. And if Hardy Brothers doesn't have it, they'll get it. Next door, Ray Harold's is newly expanded. You'll find year-round sporting goods, fishing gear, firearms, and archery equipment, plus Irvin's friendliest cup of coffee. If Ray Harold's doesn't have it, you don't need it. Hardy Brothers and Ray Harold's, side by side at the Y, Hardy Brothers Shopping Center.
The Estill County Senior Citizens Center welcomes its members with open arms and provides friendship and a hot meal each day.
Well, we started off first as a nutrition center. We ran about 5 years, just nutrition only. Then in 1979, we started on homemaker services, which is going in our homes and doing lighthouse work and shopping and to the doctor and, you know, like that. And then about 5 years later, we started in homemakers, home care service. And that is where they go in, that is through the state, they go in and take care of them where they're the frail elderly, you know, and try to keep them in their homes and out of the nursing homes. And that's how it started. We started back in '73 is when the program first started. At first, they don't want to come. And I try, now like last week we had one come, a new one, and I told her daughter, I said, you come with her and get her started. And that's all you have to do. And once they start, they don't want to stop.
Markham and Wallace Memorial Hospital serves Estill and other counties with quality health care service.
We have 26 acute care beds. We offer all the ancillary services of the normal hospital. Of course, we're a small rural hospital, so we don't have the major things like CAT scanners or magnetic imaging equipment, which are multi-million-dollar equipment. But we have ultrasound, we have mammography services, all radiology, laboratory services, physical therapy, speech pathology, just about anything you need.
As far as forward looking, I think what we want to do ultimately is be the quality care, primary care center for Estill County. As was previously mentioned by Tom, that we don't have the high-tech services, but we have all the necessary primary services that go along with the hospital.
I have never worked with a more cordial group of physicians and staff, administrative. All the people at the hospital are, I'd say, exceptional in that they do their jobs well, and they are kind in the way they do it with other people.
Renovation was recently completed for the Estill Heights Family Health Center, which is located in the hospital.
This clinic was started back in the latter part of July of last year and the beginning of August of last year. And it was set up by the federal government through a grant process to help provide care to an indigent segment of the population here in Estill County and in the surrounding contiguous areas. It is sort of funded to that extent, and although we see patients regardless of their financial background, that is basically how this clinic got to be here. The hospital was gracious enough to develop the space itself, and the proximity between the clinic and the hospital sort of fosters a mutually good, beneficial arrangement between the two.
I'm standing inside the Thrifty Craftworks shop located in downtown Irvine. You simply have to come inside just to see all the special things that are here.
This is a special project that we received a grant from the Division of Mental Retardation to provide services to some mentally retarded individuals in the community. We currently are serving 11 individuals in our program, and what we're trying to do in this program in particular is to focus on some pre-vocational training. We are attempting to get the individuals involved in some pre-training aspects, such as being able to do some sanding, doing some labor in that area. And what we hope to do is to be able to move from this to get them into the community setting, maybe get them jobs later on in the community. We attempt to match the person to the tasks that they have the ability to function in, and we operate 5 days a week for about 5 hours a day. We bring people in the morning, and we have a group meeting to discuss what's going to be happening that day, and we kind of talk about what's going to be going on, and we talk about the menu for that day. We also have a kitchen unit, and people prepare their own meals and everything, so it's really a unique program.
The Estill County Library serves as a center of activity for young and old alike.
This library, the building was built 10 years ago. This will be our 10th anniversary, and before that it was down on Main Street in a store building, and we didn't have a lot of tax money, or we didn't have a lot of funding, so in the very beginning it started out in the basement of the courthouse, and there was a volunteer librarian, and she only worked a couple of days a week maybe, and they worked up from there, and people decided that they wanted a library that was open 5 or 6 days a week, so they started to do a tax drive, and from there we've moved up to this.
The library also has a fantastic story hour that's so entertaining it easily captures the attention of feisty 5-year-olds.
That's one of our most successful programs, because we have about 75 children involved right now in the story times and the toddler times, and we also have after-school activities for older children, and in the summertime we have the summer reading program, which has been real successful.
In addition to existing programs, the library caters to those unable to visit on a regular basis with its well-stocked bookmobile.
Anita goes out on the bookmobile 4 days a week, and she visits each stop every 2 weeks, and she has a set schedule, and it's kept in the newspaper so everybody knows when she's going to be there. And I think that's one of our best programs too, because it reaches out to people who can't otherwise be here. They may live out in the county, or they may be housebound or whatever, and they can't get into town, so they use the bookmobile, and we're real proud of that.
The police departments of Irvin and Ravenna do an effective job in serving the people of Estill County.
Oh, I think our patrolling and our police department has come up in the last couple of months since I've been chief. We've increased the police department by 1. There's 8 patrolmen, or 4 patrolmen, 4 sergeants, and myself. I think we're doing a respectable job. We've got some well-trained, qualified police officers here. I think we have a good working relationship with the Ravenna police and also with the county sheriff and the state police right now. In fact, I think we've got a tremendous good working relationship with them. Well, on the whole, I think the community is a good community. We got a lot of good people. It's a small community, probably in the city, 3,500 people probably. And on the whole, I think I don't think there's any better anywhere else.
Troop 144 is the number of a very active Boy Scout troop, which has been staffed in the past and present with dedicated leaders.
Well, scouting here goes back to about 1920. The first troop was organized at the Ravenna Christian Church. And then for a few years after that, it declined. And then in 1942, Troop 144 was organized by the Irvin Ravenna Kiwanis Club. And they sponsored that for about 25 years. And then again, the program lagged a little bit, and when 144 was rechartered, the Carhartt Manufacturing Company became the sponsor, and has been that way ever since then. I regard the 25 years I was scoutmaster as the best times in my life. I love the outdoors, and I love working with boys, and we hiked and camped and traveled all over the United States and Kentucky, and I've also had the opportunity to see a lot of my boys grow into outstanding men, successful men, and I feel like that their moral and spiritual and physical life has been improved by their experience in scouting. I think it's a premier program in this country if properly conducted by the right kind of leadership. I think there's nothing like it as far as developing all facets of a boy's life and helping him grow into the kind of man that he should be and that this nation needs.
The Kiwanis Club is a service organization in Estill County. It takes its We Build motto to heart as it constantly puts words into action throughout the community. The Estill County Ballpark is a prime example.
I really enjoy Kiwanis. It gives you an opportunity to fulfill some of your dreams. Like this ball field was the dreams of a few men that got together, and they fulfilled it through Kiwanis, which we have about around $106,000 tied up in this ball field now. And we've got it down to just about single figures on their debt, and that's in 8 years, which we're real proud of that.
Quite a bit of support from their community for the park. Initially, our grade work was done by Southeast Coal Company. They come in, laid the engineering work out, did a complete layout, and then they brought their dozers and pans up and they leveled the park out to the position it is right now. We've had our coaches and our other local people have been in and been very helpful in providing help for it.
We'll profile an award-winning newspaper when Kentucky Life in Estill County returns.
Excellence in a quality driving machine is measured by performance testing. Excellence in a car dealership can also be measured by performance testing. After extensive customer surveys, General Motors has found Bunt Gross Chevrolet Olds to have the highest customer satisfaction ratings of any major Oldsmobile or Chevrolet dealer in central Kentucky.
From the front lobby to the people behind the scenes, you'll find everyone is eager to help at Union Bank and Trust. If you're interested in a loan for real estate, for an auto, or for some more personal need, at Union Bank and Trust, you'll find a helping hand. The people at Union Bank are genuinely interested in people like you. They'll do all they can to help you reach your goals. It's good to know there's a bank this strong that's willing to get involved. Union Bank and Trust, Irvin.
When B.F. Wilson founded Irvin's Funeral Home in 1923, he established a commitment to service. Mr. Wilson's daughter and her husband, T.E. Lewis, continued that commitment when they assumed operation a few years later. Today, in its third generation of family ownership, Lewis Funeral Home remains dedicated to that same tradition. Pre-need consultation is among the services now available. Lewis Funeral Home, for over 50 years, giving area families the kind and caring assistance of a trusted neighbor and longtime friend.
2 excellent weekly newspapers in Estill County. The award-winning Citizen Voice and Times is located in one of Irvin's historic buildings.
Okay, it was started by Guy Hatfield in Ravenna about 14 years ago, and it was named the Citizen Voice. Several years later, he bought out the Irvin newspaper, the Irvin Times-Herald, and renamed the Citizen Voice the Citizen Voice and Times. And I think that's been about 5 or 6 years ago. There's an awful lot of news in this small community, and we were real proud that the Kentucky Press Association recognized us as the best in our class this last time. So, you know, if it's up to our peers, I think that we're doing the job. But what's really important is the readers, and I think maybe that's a better question to ask them, but of course I feel like we do.
Radio station WIRV came to Estill County in 1960 and prides itself on its active interest in the community.
WIRV is actually top country throughout the day, and we of course have a lot of different features here on the station, such as our Trading Post program we have on 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 12:30 to 1. Also our Radio Bingo, which is quite a very popular program. We also have a program from 9 to 10 in the morning. A couple of guys enjoy doing very much, our Country Corner.